not about Uncle P product. It's not about just Rap Snacks. It's about the thousands of other companies that we're going to open the doors for. Same way we did in the music industry. When people see that I was able to get an 80-20 deal and do this, now you got all these other companies coming. You building and creating all this other wealth so we can help our communities and our culture. That's why I created.
So Percy, let me just jump in.
Yeah.
So Percy, you just mentioned the 80-20 deal, which was all the list of things that I was hoping that we could talk about.
Yeah.
For our audience, which isn't as well versed in the music industry,
yes,
could you talk about the nature of a standard deal
versus
one that you actually receive, so they can appreciate?
So when I first got into the music industry, most of my colleagues' deals were 7% to 14%, and Michael Jackson had the highest deal in the world at the time. He was getting 22% a record. And I said, man, this
Michael Jackson, brilliant
Michael Jackson that owned Neverland. I'm like, wow, 22%. That was all he was getting. So I went to his attorney. I gave this guy $25,000 to sit down with him in the 90s. And he told me, he gave me this idea. He said, only one other deal you could get bigger than Michael Jackson is a distribution deal where you would get 85% and the record company would get 15%. And I said, well, how do I get that deal? You know, I'm a kid from the projects, don't have nothing. And he said, the only way you can get that deal, you're going to have $200,000 in marketing money. And I said, man, I just gave you $25,000. My CDs out the trunk of my car. And I ended up saving that money. And when the next person had offered me a deal, I told him I wanted a distribution deal. And that's how I created that deal with Priority Records. And it was
Can we just go down that path just a little bit,
yes.
Percy? Because, you know, there's a couple of really amazing stories in that. So wasn't one of the people who offered you a deal Jimmy Iovine? Yeah, Jimmy
Iovine at the time, before I had the money, before I started selling the CDs out the trunk of my car, Jimmy Iovine offered me $1 million. And it was a 7-year deal. I had to sign all my rights off. I wouldn't be able to use my name. Good thing I went to college. So people, I'm telling y'all, education is important. I know a lot of entrepreneurs say they created their empires with no education, but this one, education kicked in for me. I went to the University of Houston, played basketball, and I always looked at the biggest deal I ever seen in my lifetime was the Michael Jordan deal.